pretty cool podcast. You started it last year. How did it generate and get steam?
First of all, I started last year independently just to see like the traction and if people were actually interested to hear my voice or listen to me. But I'm actually doing pretty good.
Right.
Now, I was very excited to start the season. Had second season a great roster too, and then Giannis, my brother begged me to be on the podcast. I was like, okay. Then I decided to, like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna have the second season and then get you on.
Why do you think your brother was begging you to do the podcast?
No, obviously I'm joking, but no, it was. You know what? I didn't bring him the first season. I didn't bring any of my brothers except my younger brother the first season because I wanted to kind of have them because I have a lot of brothers as well. So I wanted to have one brother each season that I have. But it was fun because I wanted to ask him some questions I haven't asked him as a brother. So it would be nice to kind of talk about that and different things of how he's seen Milwaukee and what's next for him and how does he see life.
How do you like doing the podcast yourself, being the host and reaching out to a different medium of folks?
Definitely nervous in the beginning, just because it's not. There is a language barrier as well because English is not my first language, so it's kind of that was the one part of it. But after that, I was like, it was okay because I wanted to learn. That's why I started a podcast. I wanted to learn the culture, the American culture, and learn like things that excite me, and just hear from people that I want to hear from.
Yeah, and you got a big one on Friday live at the Potawatomi. Mm-hmm. You got Bro. Is he going to be on time and talk about this?
Hopefully he's on time. I'm gonna be on time. So because I'm the host, so I got to be on time and introduce him to everybody. But the thing is, I think it's my first live podcast, and it was only fitting to have Giannis on it and create an atmosphere for fans and people and everybody to get together and kind of have a nice conversation. But I'm excited. I'm very excited. I think it's going to be great. I really wanted this for Milwaukee. I really wanted to create this.
Yeah, what are you trying to create here with your brother and doing the live thing? You're at Potawatomi. What message are you?
First of all, the number one thing is that it's a big thank you and a big appreciation that we want to do it in Milwaukee because it's to give back to the fans in Milwaukee and to get to see us, to come out there and to get to see us apart from the game in a kind of more relaxed environment. Because every other city and anything like this I think this is the most important thing that we show support to one another in Milwaukee. So that was the biggest thing for me.
NBA podcasts are getting big. A lot of big stars are doing it. What do you think that the draw is to them?
I want to say it's individual, each player individually, who they are, and kind of the different version they give, and the different version I give to people. And at the same time, everybody has their own podcast, and it kind of works differently. Mine actually, I wanted to build a podcast with honest conversation and just really educational and funny, and have a little bit of humor and not just kind of have the only thing we're gonna have is sound bites and stories and inside locker room, which you're gonna get those as well, but not in a point that's not all we do because that's not who I am and that's not how I operate. It's one of the reasons I get all these guests on my podcast because they feel comfortable to be on because this podcast is more motivational and honest about explaining why they are the way they are, and nobody dropped them from the sky. It's hard work, dedication, and what it takes to get here.
So you said you had some guests. You had Jake Paul, huh? Gonna fight.
Yeah,
Tyson.
I did.
How cool was that?
It was great. I did have him. He's a great guy. He's a good dude. I get the whole persona and how people react to him and how people on socials follow him and the virality and everything. But you could tell from the podcast that he's just a chill dude and I get that. That's all his brand. That's his brand.
And he's gonna be fighting a legend too coming up.
Yeah,
right?
I was very. Not only surprised, but I was kind of, I would never step in the ring. I don't care if he's 90 years old. I would never step in the ring with him.
Yeah, right.
But he's brave. He gets to do that. But at the same time, you gotta understand, he's earned this. He's building something special, and he's he's gotten Mike Tyson out of retirement. So it's special, man.
I think it's good if you and I just watch it instead of getting in the ring.
Yeah. There's a possibility. Might walk out with him, so we'll see.
Yeah. So Giannis is coming on Friday. What kind of guests do you guys got lined up, and how much fun? It's one thing, it's live, so you want to have fun doing this and reaching out to the broad masses, correct?
Exactly. Wait, what was the first one you said?
Question. Giannis is the first guest. Are you going to be going live each and every week, or are you just going to be?
No, so that's the only live.
Okay.
That's the only live for now. We'll have one later, but that's the only live one because it's been hard. And I try to create an atmosphere that you don't really know who you're going to see in my podcast. So that's why people are like glued in. And shout out to the team, shout out to the production team, everybody here that have helped reach 100,000 downloads on audio, on the audio side, which is amazing. But I wanted to create an atmosphere that you don't know who you're going to see next. So that's why I tend to not really promote like, hey, every day, like, hey, next week we have this guy. I just do it like a day before or 2 days before, because then it's more like spontaneous. Obviously, it's not the same build-up, but it's more spontaneous. So then I create more traction.
Anybody got?
So this is, what is your? I heard that you wanted to find a place where kids would also be able to go to attend your podcast.
Yeah.
What made you have kids or like young people to watch the podcast live? Like, what do you want to do?
So I want them to understand, because they kind of see us, me and Giannis, all the time together, and they say like, hey, you guys gotta be, you're always together, you're so loving and everything. But at the same time, we keep each other accountable, and they will see that in the podcast. They're gonna see a different version of that, because when you love somebody, you always gotta keep them accountable, and though you always gotta push them as well to be the best version of themselves, the right way. So I want them to see that as well. And it's a family thing, it's we're all about family. Like I'll give an example. If somebody came up today and said, hey, I want a ticket for the pod, the first question I would say, how many tickets do you want? For your mom, your dad, your brothers? I'm never the person who's like individualized and goes like, oh yeah, sure, I'll get you a ticket. Like I'm very family oriented, so it was mostly a family thing, and have everybody in the crowd. So
Get into your relationship with Giannis. How close are you guys through the the ups and downs throughout life and to where you guys are now?
how close are we? It's crazy. I can't answer that question because there's not. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like saying, I don't know, is the sky blue? Like we're close. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter the ups and downs and stuff like this. I think
relationship, how you guys do the
it's nothing I can. You know what? I'm going to try in the podcast. I'm going to try in the podcast to explain the relationship as much as I can. But no, I'll give you a nice comparison. People who watch the documentary on Amazon kind of saw why we are the way we are, and they kind of understood. I can't say it per se, but you got to like live it to understand the why we are the way we are. So,
gotcha. Thanks.
I appreciate you, brother.